are the flowers of one of my barrel cactus. Look at how pretty they are. The flowers close when the sun goes down or when it's a cloudy day. Hi, it's Nell, and I'm going to be pruning my Salvia Greggii for the first time, and I thought it might interest you to see what I do, because you might be new to salvias, or you may have moved into a home and you have a salvia and you don't know what to do with it, so I'm going to show you. Stick around. Salvia pruning coming up. Now, I have pruned hundreds of salvias because they're a very popular landscape plant in California, and when I was a professional gardener, there were many different ones on the accounts and I planted a lot. But I thought it might be kind of fun to do a mini series pruning my salvia for the first time, pruning my bougainvilleas for the first time, pruning my pyracantha, pruning my plumbago. I have some plants here and I'm going to be pruning them for the first time, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. It's also good too because this is a midsummer pruning. It is what is it? It is mid-July. So I've done blogs and videos about the big pruning on salvias, and I will leave a link for that here and down below. But this is just a midsummer pruning, or a pruning if you're brand new to them. And they're looking a little sad because I need to get my drip irrigation checked out, and it is really hot right now. We haven't had any of the monsoons for a while, so they're looking a little, they'll perk back up. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get this campsis out of here. And what campsis is, it is the deciduous trumpet vine. I forget what it's called, red trumpet creeper, I think. It's all over the place. It's all over my pink grapefruit. It's here. I love the foliage. It's looking a little sad right now because it's been hot, but it perks up. It'll be all perked up by morning. So I'm going to get this out of here because it is somewhat invasive, and I want to be able to see the salvia too. Because the salvia is in a little bit of a precarious spot here because it's against the fence, so I have to get this out of here and then look at how I'm going to prune the salvia. So here's the salvia after I got the campsis pruned away. I managed to get some of it up. I'm going to have to dig it when the rains come because the earth is too hard right now. But just a word of warning about campsis: be careful, because as I said, it roots as it goes along, and so it becomes really invasive, but I want to get it out of there. So as you can see, the salvia is quite woody. I'm not sure how old it is. But I'm going to start by taking out the dead, and then I'm going to start to thin it out just a little in the middle and take it down, and then I'm going to see from there where I'm going to go. And it has a hot pink flower. There's a bloom there. It wasn't blooming when I first got here. You want to prune it to encourage more flowering. In this kind of a climate where it's really warm, I'm in Tucson, in case you don't know. Tucson, Arizona. It's warm, so it flowers a lot. And so I'll do a big pruning of this in the fall, a bigger pruning, and then I'll probably need to do 3 prunings a year after that, because that just encourages all that flowering that you want and that the hummingbirds want too. So I'm going to get the twist tie off. The previous owner, or I don't know if it was the owner before that, was big on twist ties on plants to kind of hold everything up. So I'm going to take this off and see what the plant does. Oh my goodness, there's one over here too. And that's another thing I'm going to do with the pruning, is I'm going to kind of encourage it to be up a bit. It doesn't need to be up like a huge amount here, but you want to have to be able to walk by. This is the main walkway to my front door right here. And then there is dead under here, and behind here, and that is what I'm going to start with. I've got most of the big, I think I've got all of the big hunks of dead out. There's just some small things, but I'm going to get that when I get the plant. And as you can see, it sort of flip-flopped down when I took the ties off, and also when I took out the dead too, because some of that was propping it up. So I'm going to start to take out some of the branches that crisscross over. And I don't want to take it back too far, because I made that mistake with an older salvia. As I said, I don't know how old this is, because salvias grow pretty fast. But I cut it back to like probably 6 to 8 inches, the first one I ever cut back, and it just never came back because it was a mature one. So I want to go around, and I just want to take up some of the weight and some of these branches that are interceding with other branches. Like this one down here is just shooting straight across. And this kind of opens up this area here now a little bit. And I'm just going to go and I'm going to tidy these up, take some of the weight off. And by keeping up with this, I'm going to get the plant to grow upright again instead of just falling down all over the place. I'll take that down there, and then just these little pieces of dead, prune off this here, because I can tell there's going to be a flower coming off of here. So I'm going to prune right there. And it's tedious, but I love to prune, so for me, it's big time fun, and it's kind of making something that looks like yuck look okay, and then like in a few weeks when this starts to grow back and flower, it's going to look a lot better. It's by no means turning out gorgeously. It's not one of the prune jobs I've done where I go, oh my gosh, that looks so good so far. But it is better than it was, and sometimes you don't know about a plant until you really get in and start to prune it. And one thing to know about salvias is they can be on the shorter lived side. Some of the salvia Greggii I've had like peter out after 4 years or so, because perennials, after all, don't live forever, but they live longer than annuals. So I might eventually replace the Salvia Greggii, and for you it might be easier to do that. But if yours isn't as rangy as this one, I would definitely give the pruning a go. And as you can see, how many leaves are falling off too. So I'm trying to get it up off of here, and I'm just continuing to work my way around. There we go. It's a little bit fuller over here than over here, because you have to remember it had a lot more of the trumpet vine growing on it than what you saw. I already cut some of it off, so I think it's going to help it to have it opened up too, because it's had a few things just going against it. So, and again, oh, I just had a fly go up my nose. Don't you love it when you do that, especially when you're filming? But at least the cicadas are quiet. You know, they're usually so noisy when I'm outside filming. It is really, really nice, and the doves aren't too bad right now. So there we go. I'm going to do this. Just go piece by piece. See, I'm just taking off about a foot around, going around. I just kind of open it up to see. And here, there's a really bare branch here, so I'm going to cut this right probably here, because I can't really see how much it has down below. It doesn't. It's pretty woody. I'm working my way around, almost done over here, and as you can see, there's a lot less of the plant, but I ended up cutting away a lot of this here because there's a lot of, or some new growth. I wouldn't say a lot, hopefully a lot more. There's new growth coming back here, and by opening it up and getting it all trimmed back, like I don't like this one crossing over at all. I think I'm going to take this off to here. That's the thing, is you're going to go back and you're going to find things and it's going to be like, ah! But this is just the first initial pruning on this one I'll do. This remains to be seen how it's going to grow back and what I'm going to do with it, but it does look better. There's big dead one. I've also discovered a lot more dead in here as I've opened it up even more. So just going back to about here. And the Salvia Greggii are really common, really commonly sold. I would think that the culinary sage and the annual sage, the annual salvia, and the Salvia Greggii are probably the three most commonly sold salvias. So you find them in a lot of different colors and color combos too. And now I'm almost all done. I just need to fine tune it and take out a little more dead, and I will show you the beautiful finished product. And you're going, now, what is this? But I promise, like in a month or two, I'm going to show you how this plant has come back, because it'll be like sort of a surprise to me too. I'm pretty sure it's going to open up and come back full or here, but with plants, you never know. And this is a woody salvia, by the way. I should have said that at the beginning, but you'll see that in the post I left the link for. So that's why you just take it gradually back. So here's the debris here, just so you can get an idea of how much I took off. And there's the trumpet vine, that crazy stuff. Let's see. There you go, so you can see, so there is some green opened up. I'm going to give it some little bit of compost and some water tomorrow, and hopefully it'll perk back up like beautiful. And we're also supposed to be expecting some monsoon rains this week. That's why I wanted to get this done. And also, it was finally a cloudy day. We haven't had a cloudy day in a while, so I wanted to film this for you. So my kitty Oscar wanted to come out. Oscar is 17. He's an old boy. So I said, okay, if you want to come out, you have to be in the video. So I hope you found this video about rejuvenating a salvia, that's another name for it, to be helpful. And remember, don't take it all the way down when it's this woody and mature. So, thank you for all your likes and your subscribes and your comments. I really appreciate them. And I have a lot more videos coming your way. I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of repotting and planting up videos too. So I'm just gonna make videos of everything I do, just in case you have a project like that. So let's get out in the garden and make the world a more beautiful place. And I thank you so much for watching. Bye. What do you think of that, Oscar? Were you happy? Huh? You've been in videos before. He's a feline movie star.